One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Hello everyone, welcome to this new episode of Tafkir Dope, and today we're talking about the shadow work. The idea of the shadow self was popularized by famed psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Carl Jung. The shadow self refers to parts of yourself, whether personality traits, emotions, thoughts that are difficult to accept. You often don't want to acknowledge, identify, or embrace these things. The reason why the shadow is often ignored or denied is because these qualities don't fit in with our conceptions of ourselves. They're in your personality, but you're blind to them because you don't want to see them. The main and common reason you reject these aspects of your personality goes back to your childhood. For example, when we're young, we depend on our parents or main caregivers for survival. As a result, we become very attached to them and their way of doing things. So, say, for example, a caretaker scolds you for being outspoken. There's a chance that you won't feel safe speaking your mind from that point on, even as an adult. Because what it means to you is that the person I need to love me to survive won't love me if I do this thing. That message becomes internalized, buried within your subconscious, and can therefore become a trigger for you for seemingly no reason. In this example, if one of your shadows is around speaking your truth, it might bother you to see other people doing so. Every time somebody is outspoken around you, it might bring up unexplainable feelings of anger and resentment, since you have been programmed to believe that speaking up is not a safe thing for you to do. Note that the shadow holds repressed thoughts and feelings, not all of which are necessarily bad. Positive traits could be held in the shadow if those parts of ourselves were unvalidated or minimized by others, leading us to repress those parts of ourselves. Shadow work is the process of accepting and recognizing that place in your subconscious where all your secrets, repressed feelings, and impulses are stored. All we deny in ourselves, whatever we perceive as inferior, evil, or unacceptable, anything incompatible with our chosen conscious attitude about ourselves relegates to this dark side. However, it is not about eliminating your shadows. That does not exist. We live in duality. There's gonna be peace and there's gonna be chaos. The point in doing shadow work is to simply embrace yourself. How to do shadow work? Become a curious observer. Shadow work is fundamentally about bringing disowned parts of yourself and your experience to the light through awareness, curiosity, and intention. You do so when you notice patterns and themes that keep showing up in your life. The more you learn to witness your mind, the more you'll see how and when your shadow self influences you. Practice non-judgment toward yourself. As you learn to witness and observe your mind and your shadow, we do so without judgment or putting yourself down. When you experience a shadow emotion, allow yourself to experience the shadow emotion without judging yourself or the feeling. Try shadow journaling. The benefit of journaling is it allows you to get all those thoughts out of your head and onto paper, offering a deep opportunity for reflection. Refer to some of the prompts below if you're unsure where to start. What triggers you and why does it bother you so quickly? What parts of yourself do you tend to hide? And when do you experience loneliness? Exercises and prompts to get started. Label your emotional experiences. Get into the habit of labeling your emotional experiences to detail. You can write them down or mentally reflect. For example, if you're feeling sad, go a little deeper and ask yourself, what kind of sadness am I feeling? Perhaps lonely, depleted, or exhausted, or hopeless. The more descriptive and specific in labeling emotions, the more awareness is created, which helps identify what you need to do to take care of your emotional health. Think about someone who triggers you. Thinking of a recent experience in which you came across someone who really annoyed or frustrated you can help you quickly access your shadow. Take a moment to consider what it was specifically that felt so bothersome about this person, or what they were doing or saying. Then, take a moment to reflect on how what you observed in this person could be reflective of some deeper part of you. Ask yourself if you often criticize yourself for some same behavior, or if this person reminds you of someone who has wronged you. The answers to those questions might provide space for deeper reflection and facilitate a connection to the shadow self. The benefits of shadow work: tapping into your intuition. Depending on what kind of things you've tucked into your own shadow, there's a good chance shadow work can help you get in touch with your deeper knowing, or your intuition. If you were discouraged from using your intuition as a child, trusting your gut and inner compass, then you throw that into the shadow. Freeing yourself from the unconscious shadow. When we're operating at an unconscious level, our shadow effectively controls us. So while yes, facing our shadow is hard work, it's also incredibly freeing. It all sounds very negative, but it's really important to raise it from unconscious to conscious. And then it doesn't rule you like it can when it remains suppressed. Empowering yourself and accepting your strength. Interestingly enough, for people with very low self-esteem, they'll often put good things about themselves into their shadow because they don't feel worthy of it. In instances like that, shadow work offers us the chance to reclaim the gifts that make us who we are, which we've been hiding away. The healing you are looking for is in the shadow work you have been avoiding. We have reached the end of this episode of Tafkir Dope. If you have any suggestions about any topic, leave them in the comments down below. Goodbye.